section 1 of this chapter titled Household Services. So, ano nga ba yung household services? Yung household service is tumutukoy ito sa mga gawain or trabaho na ginagawa para mapanatili at maging maayos yung isang bahay. So, kasama na dito yung paglilinis, pagluluto, paglalaba, and yung iba pang mga gawaing bahay. Kasama na din dito yung pag-aalaga sa isang member ng pamilya tulad ng mga bata or matatanda. So, people often perform this task themselves, pero pwede rin silang kumuha ng katulong o kasambahay para tumulong sa kanila.
It is essential for household service workers because it establishes legal protections and ensures fair treatment, promoting their welfare and dignity. Lalo na karamihan sa mga household workers ay madalas silang nasa panganib ng pang-aabuso or pagsasamantala dahil sa kanilang trabaho at hindi pantay na kapangyarihan sa pagitan nila at ng mga kanilang amo. So this section ensures that workers are not treated merely as tools for labor but as individuals deserving of rights, dignity, and opportunities. So by formalizing this relationship between employers and household workers, mas napapababa nito yung risk ng exploitation and it creates a fair and balanced system. Additionally, this section empowers household service workers by providing them with the legal framework to demand humane treatment and proper compensation, improving their quality of life, and it gives household workers the legal support they need to demand fair treatment and proper pay, helping them live better lives. So, let's proceed to the Article 1689. So, ang sabi lang dito sa Article 1689 is, the household service must be fairly compensated and any agreement that denies payment is void. So, magiging void siya dahil it is unfair sa mga household workers and goes against basic rules of justice dahil ang tinatrabaho nila ay always be valued and paid for. So this ensures that household workers are not exploited, and beside their wages, they are entitled to housing, food, and medical care. Dito naman sa Article 1690, ang sabi lang dito ay the employers must provide free, safe, and sanitary housing along with adequate food and medical care. So this article guarantees basic living conditions for household workers to protect their health and well-being. So dito sa Article 1691, ang sabi lang dito, this requires employers to ensure that house helpers under 18 years old ay merong chance to get at least an elementary education. So the cost of this education is considered part of the helper's pay unless both sides agree otherwise. So this law protects young workers' rights to education while working. In Article 1692 naman, this rule limits how long a service contract can last to stop employers from having workers stuck in contracts forever. It makes sure na yung both the employer and the worker can have a fair and flexible terms. So in Article 1693 naman, this ensures that a house helper's right to proper clothing is protected, while the employer and the house helper can agree on how clothing will be provided. So if the employer does not agree to provide suitable clothing or ensure the house helper can afford it, the contract for household service becomes invalid. So this means the working agreement between the employer and the house helper cannot legally continue. So the law prioritizes the dignity and basic needs of the house helper, including the right to proper clothing as an essential part of their working conditions. So under Article 1694 naman, pinaprotektahan nito yung mga workers from abuse and promotes respectful and ethical treatment. Sa Article 1695 ay sabi dito yung mga workers ay cannot work more than 10 hours a day and are entitled to paid vacation days per month. So this set clear limits on how work hours to prevent overwork or overtime, and this ensures they also have rest periods. In Article 1696 naman, it states that if a house helper passes away and wala siyang relatives na malapit na magbabayad sa funeral expenses niya, so bali yung employer or yung head ng family must cover the cost of the funeral. So it ensures that the house helper receives a proper burial even in the absence of family support. In Article 1697 naman, sinasabi dito that if a house helper has a contract with a set time period, neither the employer nor the helper can end it early without a good reason. If the employer fires the helper unfairly, they must pay the helper's earned wages plus yung 15 extra days of pay. For example, yung house helper is hired for a 1-year contract, but after 6 months yung employer dismisses the house helper without a valid reason, for example, because they want someone new. So in this case, the employer must pay the house helper the wages they earned plus yung extra 15 days of pay as compensation. So if the helpers leaves without a valid reason, they may lose up to 15 days of unpaid wages. For example naman nito is a house helper under a 6-month contract decides to leave after 2 months without any valid reason. For example, they found another job. So in this case they lose up to 15 days of unpaid salary. May mga ibang cases naman katulad nito na for example, kung ang kasambahay ay nahuling nagnakaw o hindi ginagampanan yung kanyang tungkulin, ay maaring tapusin ng employer yung kontrata nang walang karagdagang bayad. Sa another example naman is kung yung amo ay nananakit or mamaltrato o hindi nagbibigay ng tamang sahod, ay maaaring umalis ang kasambahay nang hindi mawawalan ng sahod. On Article 1698 naman, it provides guidelines on how to end the working relationship between a household helper and the head of the family when there is no specific agreement or time frame for the job. It explains that either party can terminate the arrangement, but they must give proper notice based on how the helper is paid. Kapag ang helper ay binabayaran araw-araw, either party can give notice on any day and the job will end at the close of the next day. For example, si Maria ay isang house helper na binabayaran araw-araw. So on Monday morning, sinabi sa kanya na ang last day of work niya ay on Tuesday. So it means that magtatrabaho na lang siya until the end of Tuesday and the service ends after that. Kapag weekly naman binabayaran yung household helper, the notice must be given by the first working day of the week and the job will end at the end of that week. For example nito, if a house helper paid weekly with the week starting on Monday, so on Monday morning, sinabi sa kanya na ang last day ng kanyang trabaho ay on Sunday. So this gives a house helper the whole week to finish his duties and prepare for the end of his employment. And kapag ang helper naman is binabayaran monthly,
a notice must be given by the 5th day of the month and the job will end at the end of that month. For example nito is si Ana ay isang house helper na binabayaran buwan-buwan. So on February 5, the head of the family ay nag-inform sa kanya na ang last day ng kanyang trabaho ay on February 29. So Ana continues working until the end of the month, after which her service ends. This ensures fairness by giving both the helper and the employer enough time to prepare for the end of their working relationship. And lastly, sa Article 1699, sinasabi lang dito na when the working relationship between a house helper and the head of the family ends, the house helper has the right to request a written document from the employer. So, yung document na to ay kailangan may details about sa type of work na ginawa ng helper and how long they work and their performance and behavior during their time of service. So, ina-ensure nito that the house helper has proof of their work history and conduct, which can be useful for the future job opportunities ng house helper. And that is the end of my discussion, and thank you for listening.